Just kind of started to feel more connected with the world. I started to see things in a completely different light. I started seeing myself in a completely different light. It gave me self-worth. It gave me the opportunity to really develop myself. Hi, beautiful souls. My name is Jo, and I'm here to inspire and share in hopes of you creating a better vision on yourself and on your life. So today I actually just wanted to have a free-flowing conversation about what spirituality actually means to me, because spirituality is something that can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. So I'm just going to share with you what it means to me, and if you relate, maybe put something down in the comments, or if I have missed anything, or if you experience it completely differently, I would also like to hear about that. So I've always been kind of a spiritual person ever since I was a kid. I was always fascinated for some reason by Buddhism. I was also really into meditation. I think this was about when I was 14 years old or something, that I already started being attracted to spiritual concepts. But of course, I did not have the brains yet to really fathom what it was all about. The thing that I was really interested in as a kid was the Eightfold Path from Buddhism, and I really tried to live my life according to that, according to these values. And I also started watching a lot of YouTubers when I was that age. Like, I found Infinite Waters, I guess, when I was around 13 or 14 years old. I found, back then he was called Koi Fresco, but now I think he's called Vishuddha Das. And I also started watching those YouTubers, and I don't know, something about it always really intrigued me, and they kind of radiated out this vibration that I didn't understand yet, or that I didn't have, that I did not experience yet, you know? So it was always very interesting to me. But then, you know, life happens and people just kind of find you a bit weird for being into all these kinds of things, and you get to learn about science and everything, and you're like, okay, maybe this is not really something that society is deeming to be helpful or truthful. So I just kind of started living my life without the spirituality. And because I was also like the only person that was into that at such a young age. So I thought it was kind of abnormal or something, or that I was a bit crazy maybe. And yeah, but then life just started happening again and again. And I got severely mentally ill, actually. And I had to go to therapy and such. And while I was in therapy, I had kind of a reintroduction with the spiritual field. In a way, we had to do like, was some kind of family therapy. I don't really know how you say it in English, but it's like based on your family system. And you had to go with your therapy group and kind of stand with each other. And when I was doing my family and family history, I had to choose somebody who would play my dad. I had to choose somebody who would play my mom and everything, and somebody who had to play me. And I had to put them like in the room. And there were like symbolisms in the room, like, for example, the door means like the way out of the family. In the middle meant like the family, the living room where we're all together. And, you know, so you had like very different symbolisms. And yeah, I was always surprised in that therapy on how people could really tune into the energies just because of how we were able to put somebody in a room. And it was always kind of spot on. Like, everybody got a lot of insights about their family dynamics just by really coming into that role and feeling that energy of that person who is standing in that place. So I was really impressed by that. And they also said like, this is a bit weird and a bit magical, but it actually works. And I was very surprised about that. Most people hated that module, but I really loved it because it spoke to the things beyond ourselves, in my opinion. And I also did some EMDR therapy. I don't know, yeah, you probably say the same thing in English. It's where the therapist makes hand movements like this, and you are actually going kind of into, like, you bring your trauma like kind of in a conscious mind, I guess, but like through the movement, it makes it feel like it's kind of a dream, or I don't know, you can just really tap into your subconscious, in my opinion, and kind of make it conscious through that way. And we also had to visualize a lot of stuff, and that was also really interesting to me. That was like kind of my how I started to back into spirituality, actually. And the therapist that I had was also a bit into spirituality. I don't know, she was just a kind of different person, and I felt like a vibe of like connection, of like she understands me on a deeper level that regular people often I don't have the same feeling for. So then I started being more open to spirituality. But of course, my mother had a psychosis when I was growing up. So I was always afraid myself to lose touch with reality and such. I was very afraid to explore spirituality because I was afraid I would have ended up like my mom or something. And also I always got told, like, you know, stay with your 2 feet on the ground, stay very grounded, like just be normal, just do normals, like just don't really think too much about like esoteric stuff or whatever. And I was like, okay, maybe that's the safest thing to do. But like, I don't know, something in me felt kind of empty, you know. It was like I just kind of blocked it all out of fear to not get a psychosis. But then life circumstances kept happening, and I really struggled with self-hatred, a lot of low self-esteem, which I really tried to work on in therapy, but there was never really a very clear solution or something for me. I just kept kind of struggling and feeling empty and being confused in life, not really having a sense of identity or such. And then I had been in rock bottom, and I don't know, something in me said I need more than this. I don't know, there is more in this life, I guess. So I started getting back into spirituality despite the fear and despite what everybody was kind of telling me. And I had some very intense experiences with spiritual awakenings. I kind of learned that everything is connected, and I kind of realized in having these awakenings that it's stupid to hate myself, actually. I don't know, when I had these experiences, I could not even fathom why I hated myself so much or why I was so hard to myself. It just all kind of disappeared, and I haven't had any suicidal thoughts since having those spiritual experiences. So then I was kind of certain that, okay, spirituality is something that is really able to help me personally. Not everybody will be helped by spirituality, but this is some way of life that really spoke to me. And I started to understand more the language of spirituality, even though we're confined to the human language, because yeah, everything just kind of goes beyond language in spirituality. It's really difficult to explain sometimes, but yeah, I just kind of started to feel more connected with the world. I started to see things in a completely different light. I started seeing myself in a completely different light. It gave me self-worth. It gave me the opportunity to really develop myself and to go into my subconscious without really needing the help of therapists often. And I started self-reflecting a lot and just really growing as a person. And to this day, it's still happening. And for some reason, I trust the process more. I trust life more. I can finally relax. I found meditation. I do all kinds of meditations. Like sometimes it's just mindfulness. Sometimes it's like meditation to go to sleep, meditations to let go, meditations to detach from outcome, all kinds of meditations to get in touch with your higher self and such. And it really seems to benefit me even to this day. And even though there's still like a fear of going crazy or something, I know that I feel less anxious since I found spirituality. And I think that that's the main thing, that we are not fearful or anything, because that is honestly what creates problems in the long term. So I've been feeling a lot more like myself through it. I've been feeling more in touch with my true self, more in touch with source energy, just much more grounded as well, actually. I quit drinking alcohol for the most part, of course. I just kind of created a better life for myself. I started manifesting the life that was always meant for me. I started thinking more for myself, you know. I stopped watching the news for some reason. It was just draining my energy. I stopped being a people pleaser. I don't know, like the changes that happened is just, there's so many things I could tell you that really helped me in regards to spirituality. I even quit some toxic relationships. A lot of people have left me because of this, but I know that the universe has my back, and that a lot of better experiences are coming my way. And you know, it's already been happening, but I know things will turn out so much better in the future even. And yeah, I'm just in this state of more letting go, just more being okay with everything. And when I was little, I used to be fearful all the time, just constantly in my head, living in my head. Now I live so much more in my body. And you know, there is also things in spirituality that I'm not really that into, that I don't really feel a connection with, like for example, numerology has never really been 100% my thing. I don't know why. I did not really feel connected to numbers at all, but some people really do, and it really helps them. Some people really experience this as a sign that everything will be all right. I just don't really have that with numbers, and I don't really see the problem in that. I also kind of have the same sometimes with readings and such, even though they are often quite correct, and they kind of do give me something to work with when I watch them, but I just kind of sometimes pick and choose. It doesn't really always resonate. I don't really think that's also what should always happen. Everybody's like kind of on a different journey, but yeah, you know, you don't really have to like everything. You don't really have to be into everything. Like for me, a lot of things are just focused on cultivating self-love, stopping mental blocks, just kind of living your best life, becoming your greatest version. Spending more time in nature is even a spiritual practice of me. So it really did a lot of things for me. I feel so much better since I have took the leap of faith and just started really tuning into spirituality a lot more. So in that regard, it really means a lot to me. It's also completely fine if you don't really resonate with spirituality, in my opinion. There is so many ways you can better yourself. You can become your greatest version in so many ways. You can also just kind of look up like philosophies or something. Philosophies have also really helped me to kind of create my own meaning to this life. You know, absurdism, I love absurdism. I love it. So yeah, I think that is what spirituality means for me. It made me connect with myself. It made me a better person towards my family, friends. In relationships, I'm also learning to respect myself. I quit drinking alcohol. I don't know, it has just been a really great journey. I'm really looking forward to the future. So I hope this maybe resonated with you. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe and hit the like button. I really want to make this channel grow so I can reach a lot more people. And yeah, I would say have a nice rest of your day or night, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.